Oh,
Okay, you can say you're live right now, so you can tell people.
all right. I'm live. I'm live.
Yep, you're live.
All right.
Just tell them.
Hey, just waiting for people to come in here. This is the first time that I've ever done a live YouTube. So anyway, so just give us a moment here. Just going to give some people some opportunity to come in.
Sound check. Say
Sound check. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys give me feedback and tell me?
10 for audio.
Yeah, 10 for audio and and if it's bad, give me 0. Please start the mini cam. Is the cam not starting? Please start the mini cam. You hear me? Live chat reply is on. Messenger appears when the stream it's not on.
Because you're on the wrong one. I started a different
one.
Huh? I started a new one. Go to your channel. People are saying I can read. People are on it.
Where am I on? This one?
14 viewers right now.
Which one should I go on? Right here. All right. That's good. It's delayed, but okay. Can you hear me still?
They can hear you right now.
All right. Like I said, give me a 10. Give me a 10 if the audio is good. All right. Thank you so much. I see Barnadetta. I hope I didn't butcher your name, Claudio. I'll see Claudio. Hey. We're going to give you guys some time for people to come in. This is kind of cool. I feel like I'm at the Oval Office here, about to give a speech to the nation. This is kind of cool. This is live. All right. All right. People are coming. We got Nikki, Jay. Oh, good old Jay. I love reading a lot of your comments, Jay. Brother DeMarcus, Isabella, I see you there. All right. Everybody's giving me a 10. Yep. You did it. LOL. Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna mute it real quick.
All right, got Brother Joe. Huh?
I'm gonna mute it real quick. Just talk.
Okay. Hey, we're gonna mute it just to give people some time here, but we're still here. You guys can interact, and we'll get this thing rolling. I hope you guys have some great questions. All right. All right. Hey, okay, I'm here. Seems like we have 41 people watching here. Okay. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is my first YouTube live. I'm going to be doing a review on the great debate, Ron Young versus Pastor Dowell. I'm very appreciative of the two gentlemen making themselves available to come up and do this debate. So I'm just going to give a little overview, but I really want to answer your question. I think this is going to be exciting because get to see your guys' questions here. So anyway, I had to watch the debate again, even though I was there live, but I was doing security duty. But I did watch it again. And one of the things that you have to understand when you're doing a debate, there's so many different, there's different structures. But one of the things I was looking for is what was the claim? What was the warrant? Given the sources of the claim, and then what's the impact? Like, what does it have? How is it relevant to us today? And I felt just off the bat that Pastor Dowell had the advantage because everything that he was basing his off on was the Bible. You can find everything in the Bible. There's nothing that really justifies celebrating the celebration of Christmas and Easter. So out of the bat, Pastor Dowell had the advantage. Ron Young was in the position that he had to, the burden of proof was on him. He had to make a case for the celebration of Christmas and the celebration of Easter. And so he had a difficult task. I thought that when Ron started the Christmas, and I'm going to combine both of them here, and I may even do a more detailed review. But one of the things I noticed that Ron Young, when he started off, he pretty much conceded from the get-go. There's a technique, they call it nowadays in the debate world, call it the switch side. They call it the switch side debate. So basically, when he got in on the debate, instead of sticking to his claim that it's good and right to celebrate Christmas, he came in and already conceded right off the bat in acknowledging that Christmas is not in the Bible and that it is pagan origin. I mean, everything. And so then that will put Pastor Dowell in the situation where that could take him out because now he couldn't even, he prepared, depending on how well he prepared. And because he prepared, I think Pastor Dowell did a good job in being able to still have resources or sources to be able to show what he did. But that's what the technique that I believe that Ron Young was using. It's kind of like judo. When somebody punch you, instead of punching them back, you use their force against them in hopes that you can get them on their back. And Ron Young had a difficult time in trying to get Pastor Dowell on his back. He just really tried to play on people's emotions. At the end of the day, he really didn't. And when he did cite source, he cited the source out of context. I think he used one in the Apocrypha when they sacked the temple and they celebrated. I think Hanukkah. I think he was using that. And but the difference is they never ever, none of the celebration that you saw the Israelites doing, they didn't use pagan practice to do that. Pastor Dowell, on the other hand, I thought he did a great job, not only citing the main source, the Holy Bible, but he also used, you heard him using sources like the encyclopedia and even things from the Presbyterian doctrine. I mean, he really did his homework. He was always prepared to give an answer for the things that Ron was bringing up. And even when Ron was trying to do the okey doke and concede, Pastor Dowell had enough ammunition to be able to bring in new information that Ron didn't bring up, or maybe things that Ron may have not thought that Pastor Dowell may have known. So I thought that, like I said, I thought I was just glad that they did the debate, but I thought Pastor Dowell just on how to do a debate, I think he just hit it all. I mean, he hit every cylinder, and I think Ron struggled. I don't know if Ron underestimated Pastor Dowell, but I think he did a poor job in convincing the audience why we should celebrate Christmas. Now, let me go into this. I want to bring this up. This is kind of what I observed from the crowd because I was in the back. But I thought Pastor Dowell won that one hands down. There's no argument. There's nothing to really say there. He just won it. But I thought what was interesting was being that I'm from this area, or at least lived in this area for 18 years in Green Bay, I thought it was interesting to see the crowd. Obviously, the Hebrew Israelites, the straightway truths, we were there first, or they were there first, and then you had the Christians coming a little bit later, and they sat on the side, and just to be able to see the audience, to see who was more engaged, even the question, I thought the Hebrew Israelites asked better questions, very more intelligent questions. I thought the questions that was asked of the Christians were very weak, very just not knowledgeable. It was just really it was like a child asking questions or whatever. You just expect more from a Presbyterian church. I thought we had a sister Nicole. We had one of our sisters ask an amazing question. I mean, just across the board. I just thought that the Israelites the Hebrew Israelites did a great job in taking this debate serious. You saw people leaving early, and it wasn't the Hebrew Israelites; it was more of the Christians leaving early. And so I thought that I was disappointed to see that we're discussing something that could be that is a big deal in Yah's eye. And the way the Christians took it, they took it like nonchalant, like it's not a big deal. So anyway, I felt that overall, I was glad personally that I saw the debate. I saw people that I knew from the Hebrew Israelite straightway truths. I saw people from the Christian community that I lived life with for many years here, gave millions of dollars. You guys know my story. And I am proud to say I'm part of Straightway Truths. I'm proud to say that Pastor Dowell is my pastor. I am proud to be a Hebrew Israelite. And it was good to be a Hebrew Israelite, because I would have been very embarrassed if I was a Christian and Pastor Dowell came in and spanked Ron Jung the way he spanked him. So anyway, hey, I'm going to open up for questions, but that's just my short overview. This is kind of cool. So I'm going to take in some questions. How do we do this, David? David's going to help me here. How do we, where do we just start from the top? Do I scroll up or down, or does anybody have any questions? And you guys can ask me questions about the debate. You can ask me questions about anything. I want to make this an open forum, but it is obviously about the debate. But because I know that earlier somebody was talking about a wife, what my standard is. So if you guys have questions that's a little bit outside of this debate, I'm okay with that. Do you have any questions here? All right. Where do I go, Dave?
So you stay in the chat.
Okay. I see Jackie Long. If you guys have any questions here, you should go live more. Okay. Thank you. Out of the mud, Watchman. Okay. I will most definitely do that. That's what David convinced me to go live. So I'm going live. Did they get the audio out of yep. Yes, sir.
Oh, he's asking if we got the audio from them.
You know something? They did not get us the audio. Can you believe that? They have been delayed. I am not holding my breath. We have made multiple requests to Jacob's Well to get the audio. They have yet to produce an audio for us. But you know why? When you get your ass handed to you, it's kind of hard to give the evidence of how you got your butt whipped. So, but thank God we had David and brother DeJerry and brother David tape the thing. So what we put on our channel, I think Pastor Dow also got it on his channel. It was the best that we can get, but it's way better than the live. We heard that a lot of people had a lot of issues with the live feed, and so I hope the debate that we put out there will do the job. But we may not be getting that from Jacob's Well, so don't hold your breath on there. But and don't even waste your time praying about it. All right, what does it say here? You should go live. Here are the response from the. Has there been I've spoken to Ron Jung about, has there been any response from the area about the debate? I have talked to Ron. Ron believes he won. I don't know how to say it, but he's very delusional. You know how the Christians, they're on something. That is a strong drug that they're on. So, but he thinks he won. I talked to actually Reggie White's wife. She gave me some feedback, but no one from the Christian community. I've talked to people, even Mike LeMay. I talked to Mike LeMay, and Mike LeMay said that he's not going to waste his time to watch a debate on Christmas. It's not a big deal. So once again, I'm highly disappointed by a lot of the Christians not taking this thing serious. And it just goes to show that Christians is just not biblical. They don't really keep the commandments of Yah. They don't really love Jesus. Jesus says, if you love me in John 14:15, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. And you can see by the manifestation of their actions that they do not love the Most High. So I have not gotten too many feedback on the debate, except from our people. What does this says here? That the Christian sides of Israel. Let me see here. Let me scroll back here.
One from it says, was Nimrod mentioned as a source for Christmas and Easter to worship him?
I don't know. Was it? Was Nimrod? No, that was not mentioned. Who mentioned it? Pastor Dowell may have mentioned that. I think Pastor may have mentioned. It wasn't really touched on. No.
They were more focused on encyclopedia.
Yeah, it seemed like the source came more from the Bible and the encyclopedia from Pastor Dowell, and the Apocrypha was also used as well. That's the Christian side. Israel it needs to bring their own cameras from now on. Yep, I agree. Nope. Okay, we got there. That's because Pastor Dowell made them look very terrible. You are correct, Brother Ryan, Brother DeMarcus, true brother. Yep. I'm trying to, guys. This is my first time, so be patient. Strong delusion. Brother Kabir, did you get direct feedback or response from any of the members of Jacob's Well from Green Bay? No, I have not yet. For some reason, I'm having a hard time getting a hold of them. It goes to answer machine, or there's cricket on the text machine. So I have put it on Facebook. Normally, my Facebook will be blown up with stuff when I put some stuff on my Facebook, but they have not even responded on that. So we'll see. Maybe they'll respond to this live feed. We'll see. Bunch of pagans. LeMay, that lying snake. Can't agree. I cannot disagree with you. He won. LOL. This brother Steve, this great brother. Has anyone? Okay, this be moving fast. Has anybody from the church? Nope. Has anyone in the church has come to fellowship? Not yet. Nope. Not no one I know. Heather. He believes he won. Yes, he does believe he's won. I know, Heather. It blows my mind away. And I think the next time, you know what I was thinking? The next time as we do debates, I really think that we should not only just have a moderator, but we should get maybe some college students who does debate, like from a debate team here in the local area, and say, hey, would you please grade this so that it can be even taken to a level where that people are actually being graded on formulating an argument. You know, they have to have a claim, the warrant, the impact, and that the judges, this is just a neutral, they're just here to judge debate. Obviously they'll hear the thing, but that we can at least get it more academic. I think that would be kind of cool. What do you guys think about that? I mean, I just thought that would make it maybe put more pressure on the debaters to take this serious. Now we know Pastor Dowell took it very serious, and I think I like to think Pastor Dowell will like that.
Little Raisin, he wants to know: do you believe Ron Young is arrogant and delusional, thinking that he won?
I don't know if he's delusional for sure. I wouldn't go as far as to say he's arrogant. I think he's confident in what he believes. He went to seminary school. He went to Azusa Pacific University, and he's just very confident in what he believes. But he is delusional. I really do believe that. Another thing too, I felt that Pastor Dowell had the advantage as I've been studying debates. And I'm not an expert, but as I studied debates, some of the different techniques, one of the advantages I felt that Pastor Dowell had is that the fact that he was once a Christian. So he knew the mindset of a Christian, and he celebrated a lot of these. He celebrated Christmas and Easter. So he would have had an advantage in the sense that he understood where they were coming from. I think Ron was at a disadvantage because he doesn't know where Pastor Dowell's coming from. And so one of the things I learned about debates is that when you go to debates, especially in school, when you go to debates, you sometimes have to argue points that you have to argue claims that you don't even agree with, but you had to study the claim, come up with some convincing arguments of why it makes sense and what the impacts are. And what happens when you go through that exercise is it makes you very good to be able to understand the other side so that you'll be able to know how to attack them. So without Pastor Dowell, going to school to be a debater, but because of the sheer fact that he was a Christian, it gave him another dynamic to his debate, to his side to be able to manhandle past Ron Young. Yes.
This is more of a statement on here from Lawrence Lemoyes, but he says that he believes it's a waste to debate because Christians are basically delusional. What are your thoughts on that?
So Lawrence saying that it's a waste of debate. Actually, I would actually and I appreciate your opinion. We're all entitled to opinion, but I would say I disagree with that because I believe that we should examine ourselves in the faith. We should contend for the faith. The Bible talks about contending for the faith. It says examine yourself to see if you are in the faith. And I tend to do a lot of debates just on my private time. I can go to the mall, go to the grocery store, and just always trying to make sure that's how I came into the truth. If I would have just been okay and say, this is what I believe and not test it out, then how do I know? How do we know if we're in the truth? And so we shouldn't be afraid to debate because it sharpens iron, the Bible says. And so I think debates are good. Even the Apocrypha talks about don't what you call it? What's the word? When people are having discussion, I think it's a Sirach chapter 6, I believe. And it talks about when people are having a discussion that we should do not avoid those type of conversations. So Jesus did it. I mean, when they would ask Jesus questions, because here's the real deal. Even though Pastor Dowell was debating Ron Young, but the real people was the people that were watching the debate. There may have been somebody in that room that had a lot of questions and maybe didn't know him, but be able to see the two different arguments may now have come to know the truth because of a debate. So when Jesus would be talking to the Pharisees, there was a lot of other ears and eyes watching those debates. I mean, a lot of stuff that Jesus did was public. I mean, if you remember, Nicodemus showed up to Jesus privately. It wasn't meant for everybody to hear that conversation. But a lot of the stuff that Jesus was doing was in the public, in the temple, where people can hear and be able to hear the truth. So but I appreciate your comment there, Lauren. Yes.
There's a statement mentioning the stutter that happened when Pastor answered the question with the question. When Pastor Jonathan said,
"Yep, you with the shoe
on Sunday."
Yeah.
What were your thoughts? What was your impression on basically the lack of response when Pastor asked them if they do Easter egg and paint eggs?
What I thought about that?
Yeah.
So the question is, what did I think about my response with when Pastor Dowell asked the question with the question? So I think it was Pastor Ryan. I think it's Pastor Ryan. Jonathan, he asked the question, and Pastor Dowell said, "Do you paint Easter egg?" I thought it was very interesting to see that because really it sounds like they don't do it on Sunday, but they do it on Saturday. And so they were trying to avoid that they do everything the same way on Sunday. But in reality, they do Easter egg hunts and things of that nature. And but so I just thought it was very interesting how they responded. Once again, it just showed how pagan that the Christians are. So so it says and then it says, okay, and this is the one I'm going to go back to my Sirach 6. It's Sirach chapter 6, verse 35. It says, "Be ready to listen to every godly discourse and let no wise proverbs escape you." So I highly recommend that you guys would, this is for Laverius, I think, Laverius. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, but I think it's very important to have those discussions. Let me keep looking here. Is there any more questions? I see, and please help me out, Brother David, here, because this is new for me. This is kind of cool. I hope you guys are liking this. You're doing a good job on this side platform.
It says, we got one from Magnum. It says, "Brother Kabir, are the local Christians looking at you with bitterness or give you the cold shoulder where you live at? How is your current relationship with local Christians?" I'm glad
you. And so the question is, how is my relationship with local Christians? Guys, I'm telling you right now, I can honestly say that when Jesus says in John 15 that the world will hate you because they hated me first, he says, don't be surprised. They will hate you. He says, because when he pulled me out of the world, he says, they will hate you. Now, when I was in the world, guys, when I was a Christian, you have to understand, I was a Green Bay Packer. I mean, they worship the Green Bay Packers out here. I mean, literally, I mean, still to this day, the fans will be, you know, they're heathens. So the fans are, you know, they're going to be very supportive. I mean, they don't know. I don't know if they're following what's going on in my personal life. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. But for the most part, they love their Packers. But the Christians, which you'll think that would love me the most because I was one of them. I gave millions of dollars. I know what it's like to be loved by them. And ever since I came into the truth, they have started to hate me. Now, guys, when it says hate, it's not like, I hate you. Now, maybe that's what's going on behind the scenes, and I don't see that. But the cold shoulder, you make phone calls to people. They don't respond to your calls anymore. They don't respond to your texts. Just recently, I went to my old job, and the whole time when I went to my job, I couldn't. The woman that I was talking to was at the door. It was like it wasn't meant for me to come in. I felt like, wow, I guess I'm just going to talk to you right here in the hallway or something. I said, can I come in? I mean, you can tell that it's just they just treat you different. And so, guys, it's real. The persecution is real. And I really thank Yah for Straightway Truth Ministry. I thank God for Pastor Dowell, because I have a family now. And so I can overcome. But it would be hard if you were by yourself. But the persecution is when you start walking in this truth, you start seeing the hate. And the reason why I can see it, because like I said, love, and then they love you less. I know what a person looked like when they loved me before. And now it's totally different. Not everybody, but 90% of the people have treated me differently than how they used to treat me. And so it's very clear that they don't like me anymore. Is there another one?
Yes, sir. We got, are there any other pastors in the area willing to debate pastor, or are they all scared?
The question is there anybody in the area that's willing to debate Pastor Dowell? I can tell you, after watching, I mean, Ron Young was the cream of the crop in this area that I know of. And I can tell you right now, not only do they're not going to find anybody that wants, I don't think there's anybody here that's willing to debate Pastor Dowell. They don't even want to debate me. And I'm not even in the same category, in the same vicinity as Pastor Dowell. Now I'm experiencing a little persecution like Pastor Dowell. There's a hate. I found a, what they call those video, exposing Kabir video or something. And this guy is on me. I'm thinking like, wow, is this what it's like? I mean, so I was talking to Pastor Dowell the other day. He says, welcome to his world. So I guess I'm getting into his world just a little bit. But I don't think there's anybody here that's willing to debate Pastor Dowell, because all these people here, all they are is motivational speakers. They don't really know the word. So Ron Young is probably the only one that would have been willing, and he was willing to debate Pastor Dowell. Give me another one.
People are asking, how long have you been in the truth for? How did you wake up?
I've been in the truth for over a year now. I started in July. Yeah, and guys, please, thank you guys for coming to the video. I see all these people coming here. You guys are coming in pretty fast, but thank you so much. But to answer the question, who is the question from?
This is from Ivory Black.
Ivory Black. Okay, Ivory Black. So I've been in the truth for almost over a year now. I started July 2017. I had a dream in July. It was July 1st of 2017. I had a dream, and in that dream, I was in the presence of the Most High. It scared just to be honest, it scared the shit out of me. It really, I've never been in the presence of the Most High like that, or felt that type of presence. And I heard an audible voice, and in that audible voice, he made two statements to me. He says, "You don't love me," and I proceeded to try to entreat the Most High, and says, "I do love you. I love you. I love you." I put a video out there so you can see more of my story. But just to answer your quick question, and he told me, "You'll be tested." And ever since I had that dream has been holding true. I have been tested. And one of the tests was I going to love my wife or love him? For 16 years of my marriage, I was putting my wife before the Most High. If Yah says go right and my wife says she doesn't feel comfortable, can we please go left, or can we just not go anywhere right now? And I was in that world of trying to, love my wife like Christ loved the church, the way that the Christianity taught me, and like focus on the family when it should be really focused on Jesus. But I wouldn't do it. And so I used to pray that God would change her heart. Well, if you look in the Bible says that the woman should be praying that she should win the man's heart to change his heart. But you never see where the Bible where any man ever prayed to change his wife's heart. You don't see anywhere in the Torah and the prophets and the Gospels and the epistles. You don't see anywhere where a man is to pray for his wife because he is to rule over her. Her desires unto him. And so once I recognized that I needed to love God more than I love my wife, he says, to be my disciple, you hate your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your wife, your children. And so I decided to put the Most High first. And that's when my wife left. When I decided to start keeping the Sabbath day holy, it was July 4th, July 7th. July 7th is when I talked to Pastor Dowell. I implemented it. And then on the 19th, my wife left. I mean, before I didn't even see it coming. So I've been in it since then, and I've been running very hard. And I've had a lot of support from Pastor Dowell himself, from a pastor here locally, Pastor Ray, and even my brother. I'm going to make sure I mention his name, Calvin King, Brother Calvin. He was actually trying to share this truth with me long ago, and he was talking about the kingdom. And I remember not really understanding him, but I didn't knock him. I just couldn't understand what he was saying because I didn't have ears at the time or eyes to see. But I feared the word so much that I still heard what he had to say. And he was one of the first people that was here on the scene when my wife left that same day. That same night that she left, that same day she left, he came that same day from down south. I don't know, it was Florida or something like that. And he was there for me and he tried to help me to find my family. So anyway, but I've been in the truth since July 2017. Any more questions? Sorry, I know my answer getting long, but I love, this is good. I don't think 50. I think somebody said you're going to need more than 15 minutes. I think you're right. So any more questions?
Brother Gideon's in the chat.
Uh-oh, Brother Gideon. I see Brother Gideon.
Someone's mentioned, Brother Kabir, since Ron mentioned Hanukkah, could you or Pastor Dowell do a breakdown of Hanukkah sometime soon for some of the new brothers and sisters?
Yes, I think Pastor. I can't speak for Pastor Dowell, but that would be nice. I can ask Pastor Dowell if he'll be doing that. Maybe I have to study that because I don't personally do Hanukkah. Yeah, and our ministry really don't do that. It's not a commanded celebration, but it is something that you see done in the Apocrypha. I know that much, but I don't know enough about it. But that I do the Feast of Passover, Pentecost. I do the Feast of Trumpet, the Day of Atonement, and the Feast of Tabernacle, and then obviously I do the weekly Shabbat.
Were you surprised that Ron Jung used the Apocrypha for one of his statements?
I was surprised, but at the same time, I think he wanted to be able to. I was surprised when I heard him quoting the Apocrypha. I think he quoted First Maccabees. So I was surprised when he did that. So, but I'm starting to learn. I just talked to Pastor Dowell, and he said that a lot of theologians do use that, but they don't teach it to their congregations. Isn't that amazing? But I know the Catholic Church, they use the Apocrypha. So,
are you going to start teaching on your live stream?
Yes, I am. I plan on teaching. I just trying to make sure that I'm just teaching from what I've been doing lately is just been trying to teach from my testimony and my experience. Guys, I have a lot to learn. I've learned so much in just a year. Pastor Dowell has been, I can say he's been discipling me. If that's, I don't know if that's a fair statement, but I feel like I just listened to Pastor Dowell and just really trying to grow in this truth. So what I try to teach are things that I know. So I'm very well versed when it comes to men and women relationships. I'm well versed. I'm even trying to incorporate finance. I got to think about that because I'm a CFP. So I got to figure out what I can and cannot do with compliance with the SEC, the Security Exchange Commission. So that may be a little bit tricky because I may have to pay a lot of money just before I can put that on video. But I'm well versed when it comes to the handling of money or finance. And that I still have a lot to learn in that, but I feel like I can do that stuff and just life in general, being a parent. But I will teach those things that pertains to what I'm going through to be an encouragement to the saints because this is real, guys. When I see that my life is matching up with things that I see in the Word, those are things I'm going to teach on. What did Jay say? John saying Jesus' only begotten Son. So that's okay. Any more questions?
Do you know anything about stocks and bonds?
Yes, I do know a lot about stocks and bonds. I am a certified financial planner. So to answer your question, Bernadette? Bernadette.
I'll be giving you more information.
But I'll give you guys more information. Right now, the reason why, I mean, we had this big event with the debate. So I housed over 50 saints during the debate. We had over 100 people just coming over for meals. They were staying in hotels. And so we were recovering from that. And then two, I'm starting up my business, my financial firm. I am going to be starting up my financial firm. I'm thinking about naming it. I'm debating if I should do. Oh, okay, I can't say it right now. They say keep that up. But I am. Yeah. But I am in the business. I am trying to start my business right now. So, but other than that, that's what's been keeping me busy. But we are getting our weekly shows out with the Berean moment, and so you guys still keep staying tuned. And we have a lot of great testimonies coming out. What he says, it seemed, oh, okay. Pastor Dowell said I had over 100. Said it looked like it was about 170 people. It was a lot of people there, and there was some people that came unannounced, and and they got their healing. Even right there, Pastor Dowell was ready to when they finally met, was able to help this woman and her child to lay hands and to heal and things of that nature, or cast out any demons. So it's just this is Straightway is just a beautiful ministry. Beautiful ministry. Any more questions?
You can ask some questions. So
what do you guys think about the debate?
So what do you guys think about the live stream? Would you guys like more of these live streams?
And then, so one of the questions is that Dave is saying here. So what do you guys think about the live stream here? This is like I said, this is my first time. Do you guys like it? Is this something that you guys want more of? I'm just trying to stay connected because I really appreciate all of you guys, your support. I think I have over 2,800 subscribers. And do really appreciate your guys' support. I think we started to monetize. So please, if you guys see the commercials, let it run. I know, it sucks, but it does help Straightway Praise Land here. You see anything there?
Encourage people to subscribe to Pastor's channel.
And please subscribe to Pastor Dowell's channel. That's where and one of the things people keep saying, something. I just want to just address one thing here. People say, Kabir, you can do your own thing. Stop listening to Pastor Dowell. You can, do your own thing. Guys, let me tell you something. When you follow the Most High, you have to humble yourself. Okay. Just because I have a name coming into this ministry before I came into this ministry does not mean I know everything. I have a lot to learn. I know I'm learning. I'm growing and learning, and I know my place. And Pastor Dowell is a man that really, he's been doing this for over 20 years, living this thing out. I'll be a fool to think that I'm going to just do my own thing. That's what Christians do. If I want to do that, I can start a big church, I guess, and just tell them what they want to hear and just start flooding. Say, we go to KGB's church. I could easily do that. But that's not what it's about. It's really about following the Most High. And so I'm not in any position. So one of the things I've been trying to do with my channel is educate people about the things about the marriage license and how people are, how the marriage license is actually weakening the family. Trying to tell people, point people to Pastor Dowell, because I don't know enough right now for me to catch up to Pastor Dowell. It would take me years. It would take me 20 years to catch up to him. And at this moment, as I'm learning everything that I see that Pastor Dowell is doing, I can see he's lining up to his word. Now, I know the word and everything, and I'm still growing and stuff, but I can clearly know this much, that what Pastor Dowell is teaching is the truth. And so there's people that follow me because I'm KGB or whatever. I don't know all the people's on here, but so what I was going to do is use my platform to say, hey guys, if you like what I'm saying, listen to this man. Because you're going to grow leaps and bounds. My time will come, but right now it's time for me to continue to learn. Look at Paul. When Paul came, when he had the road to Damascus, he had a dream too. He had a vision on his road to Damascus, and he was blinded. It took him 3 years before he actually went out on the scene. So I'm just finished year 1. I'm going on year 2. So it takes time to get this. There's a lot going on. So any more questions? Kabir, what happened? What does that say? Who's that?
Kabir, what happened to the man who came from your church, who did the video with you, who wanted to confront you but stayed through the Shabbat? Did he stay with the truth, or did he return?
Oh, okay. But you talking about Brother Jody? How would I?
So this is not the right platform.
This is not the right platform. But guys, let me tell you this much: when you come into this truth. And I warn people, this is not like Christianity. but I'm going to use this question to answer it this way. When you come into this truth, you got to be willing to give it. You got to be willing to forsake all, because if you don't, I mean, when you come into this truth, the Satan will either bring good things to you. When I say good things, he may give you a great job opportunity where you're making a lot of money and it happens to be on the Shabbat, or he may bring bad things. Maybe you have a death in the family, or you have a sickness in the family, or it can come in so many different ways. But the whole goal is to get you to be moved off and not keep the commandment of Yah. So when you come into this stuff, especially you guys that are in the Hebrew Israelites, when people come into stuff, warn them. You got to warn these people. And even if you warn them, it still may not be enough, but at least warn them and let them know this is serious. When you come into the truth, this is not Christianity. You know, you're going to be attacked, because the whole goal is to make sure to discourage you from keeping the commandments of Yah. So, but Jody is still a part of the ministry, but, you know, he's not where we want him to be. And so I hope he does come back. And that's not official, but, you know, right now he's kind of in and out right now because he's going through some personal stuff. What's another question there? Don't get a marriage license. I agree with you, Lisa. Do not get a marriage license. That will, because as soon as you get that marriage license, it's going to go, your marriage goes from a biblical marriage to a secular marriage. Matter of fact, I got something for you guys. Hold on. I got something on there. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this. I have this here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do a I don't have it here. I do have it here, but I can't find it because I wasn't prepared for this stuff. But I got the transcript of the court where the judge made it very clear that this is a secular republic, that we are not bound by the law of God, we are by the Bible, by the Quran. He even said he was a Christian. I have it all in the transcript. You can see me making my appeal. You can read it. So I may do a video on that. I may, if it makes sense, if you guys are interested in that. But it was interesting to see how the court made it very clear that, so all these Christian churches, all these 501c churches, making people feel guilty for not getting a marriage license, literally got you to sign your life away, sign your soul away to the state, and which is basically satanic in nature. Any more questions? That's right. LOL. Very true. Very true. Wow. Wow. Paid $5,000 to keep my what's that saying? Paid $5,000 to keep my autistic kids. Well, I know. I mean, they will make you. They will make you do some crazy stuff. And jumping through the hoops. They'll make you jump through the hoops. Somebody was asking me, how come you didn't fight for your children? I did, guys. I actually tried to do the whole co-parenting thing. It doesn't work. Matter of fact, let me warn you this. If you ever, unfortunately, come into a situation where you have to go to the court and you're the one that has to fight for your children, don't even waste. This is just me. Because fighting for your children will require you to have to jump through hoops. And then it changes the relationship between you and the child. Instead of you being the authority and the parent, now the child will become the oppressor, and the woman will rule over her. I mean, rule over the child. And it's very hard to you diminish the role of father, especially being a man. So if I had to do it all again, knowing what I experienced, I wouldn't have even gone through the process of paying $50 an hour to have somebody watch my children, spend time with my children. That was a very demeaning process. It reminded me of the slave trade. It felt like they put me on the tree and beat the shit out of me. I mean, I'm just saying straight up. And when they did that, they did it in front of the wife and the children. And to tell the children that you ever rise up like your father, this is how you end up. And then, so now you have the woman out in lead and you have the man in the back beaten, you know, and just beaten to his image is destroyed. So literally my image, the image of being the father and the got destroyed right before my children's very own eyes. And so now who? Now they depend on the mom. That's how the state wants it. That's how Satan wants it. Brother Kabir needs a sign to say straightway praise land.
Brother Ryan's asking, has anything changed from the time you joined the faith?
Has anything changed? A lot has changed. Since I've joined, somebody says, since I've joined the faith, has a lot changed. Can they, hey, when David, let me ask you this stuff so I have to repeat. Can you guys hear when David is asking me questions or reading your questions? Because that would be helpful if he can read your questions. Can you guys hear him? Yes, sir, Brother Gideon. Can anybody hear Brother David talk?
Check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Can you guys hear Brother David when he's reading the questions? Okay, good. Okay, good. Because I don't want to keep repeating. Because I got the mic here. So anyway, what was the question? Can you say it again?
Has anything changed since you've been in the faith?
Okay. Somebody says low. Okay. He says, has anything changed since I've came into the faith? Yes. A lot has changed. I'm keeping the commandments of Yah. Now I am living in community. I've turned Praise Land. It was once before Straight was called Praise Land, and now it's Straightway Praise Land. That's how we came up with the name. And so now we have community. I have 6 people, 7 people, including my dad, but 7 adults and 1 child. Is that 6 adults? 8 total, because we have Amariah. We have only 1 child, so I got to get married real quick soon. You're not quick like that, but we're gonna try to outgrow this house and start bringing some children here for Amariah to have some children to play with. But I do have community, and it's beautiful. I mean, I would have never thought of this stuff. I heard about it, and now that I'm doing community, I remember obviously seeing the one in Tennessee, and then I went to KC. And when I saw KC, I'm like, wow, they're doing that. Man, I can do that. And in my mind, I always think I can do things better. And so right now we're doing community. So those are some of the things that's changed. And I got to tell you, my life has changed. I mean, you guys may have, if you've been following me, I eat very good, very good. I have to work very hard to keep my weight down. So I eat 3 times a day. And it's not only just they don't just make the food, but they present it in such a way like you feel like you're in a restaurant. So I try to show that. But it's just peaceful. The home is peaceful. Pretty much there is no, obviously we have hiccups here and there, but for the most part, it's just peace. It's peace in Straightway Praise Land. It's peace in the home of Kabir. That's a good mindset. Do things better. Yes. Pastor, yes, Pastor. That's I'm not trying to brag, but we try to do it. We were even talking about what Pastor says. There's a good mindset to have to do things better. Even when we had the saints here, and Pastor Dowell said that he wants to come back again, and we would love for him to come back. And already, I told my team, I told my community, hey, next time we're gonna do. We already saw some things we can do better, and this time it's gonna be better. We're gonna be more prepared. I mean, it was good now, but we want to do better.
All right, this question is coming from Brother Daniel.
Okay, Brother Daniel has a question.
Brother Daniel Murr says a lot of people that played are coming into the faith have the same background as you. Mm-hmm. What's the first thing you tell a man in that position before coming into the truth?
Okay, so Brother Daniel, a guy that I played ball with, he had a question about there's a lot of people coming from the NFL, the sports world, professional sports, and that they're coming into truth. What's my counsel to them when they first come in? Well, assess your home, assess your wife. If your wife is a Jezebel, that means it is real clear. Okay, it's real clear. If she has not been obeying you up to this moment, if she has been a Jezebel, a contentious woman, you got some real issues. Okay, and so start planning. We can talk about some stuff, but start trying to protect yourself. I hope you know what I mean. And maybe I would call me. I'll have some answer. And just expect that it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight. You're going to be persecuted. I mean, guys, listen to this. I was the all-time sack leader for the Green Bay Packers. I still live in the community that I that I played in. Most people usually play for the Packers and they go back to their hometown. I stayed. I stayed and I was a big fan. I was had a big support from the Christian community. And as soon as I came into this way, they turned their head on me. They start scoffing and people running away from me and people hating on me. But guess what? Somebody greater than me, they did the same thing too. Reggie White. Everybody, I don't know if you know the late great Reggie White. He came into the truth. And when he came into the truth, now he didn't live here. He was one of those players that played here, and then he ended up going to North Carolina or Carolina to play for the team out there, but he made that his home. And they did the same thing here, but it was easy to isolate Reggie White because Reggie White was not here locally. Because I stayed here locally, I have caused a big stink in this community. It would have been nice if I was out of here because now they have to deal with me. We have a community here now. Straightway Truth Straightway Praiseland is here. And now they have to contend. And so they're eventually going to have to deal with me. You can only run so long. Sometimes I go into town, feel like I'm in a ghost town. There's people that I know that we go to the same grocery store, so small. And people that I used to live life with now run away from me, dodge, hide their face, pretend they don't see me. When they see me, it's kind of weird. Like, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Like, it's guys, I'm telling you, it's so bizarre. It's so, but this book, when I say the Holy Bible is true, it is true. Anyway, I hope I answered that question, but just it doesn't matter how much. The question was about NFL. No matter how big you did it, they will turn on you. So don't think that, oh, because I play for this team, or because I used to give a lot of money to the community or to the church, they will turn on you as soon as you tell them you're keeping the commandments of Yah. And so I just want to let you know that will happen. I talked to another brother. He's not a part of Straightway, but he's part of another camp. That pastor, he gave a lot of money to that pastor. It was a mega church, about 8,000, and he wouldn't even talk to him. They used to go golfing. They used to, man, they were buddy. Miles McPherson from the Rock Church. I'll just say his name, Miles McPherson. You check it up. The Rock Church in San Diego. He won't even talk to this brother anymore because he came into the truth. And so Miles won't even talk to me. I came into the faith through his ministry. And he won't even talk to me. He'll just talk to me spirit here, but he won't have a conversation. These are mega churches. I know some pastors who are, if I said their name, you'll know their name, and they won't want to have a conversation. So they don't know the truth.
We got a question from Bernadette. It says, how hard was it to start a community and the steps towards making a community?
How hard? It's been hard. The hardest. One of the ways that we started community was. First of all, I was inspired more because of what I saw at KC. Pastor Dowell has been talking community. And so I was just looking at it and just looking at it, thinking like, man, how can I do that? And then, but when you go to Straightway Truth in Tennessee, it's spread out. They got land, they got cows. It's just spread out. So it's kind of hard for me to see how can I do it in my situation. I got to go get land. Can I start, But when I went to KC, they all live community right there under one roof, and so when I saw that, a light went on. And at that time, Brother David, Brother Jordan, and Brother Ryan were people who kept on. They traveled like many. They were coming like Brother David was driving 3 hours to come and do fellowship on the Shabbat. Brother Ryan from Adams, Wisconsin was coming 2 hours. Every week they would come. Sometime depending on the weather, but they would be coming every week. So they were just costing us a lot of money. I said, something, let's just live life together. So when I came back and we talked about it, and then from there we told Pastor Dowell, and then he activated us and told us who's in charge and how things are gonna be ran, and we've been doing it. So it's been easy from that perspective. I was inspired. The hardest part is just getting the infrastructure in place. I have a way of handling money and just trying to incorporate people and but thank God I had a family, so it wasn't that hard. But the hardest part was just trying to put a financial infrastructure on how we're going to take care of each other.
I don't know if you touched on the subject, but what do you say to people who say you worship Pastor Dowell?
The question is, what do you say to people that say you worship Pastor Dowell? Well, all I can say is when you go to 1 Corinthians 11, he says, follow me as I follow Christ. And so I do not worship Pastor Dowell. I think Pastor Dowell will be offended if I was to worship him. Remember Paul? I think it was Paul. If it wasn't Paul, it was Peter, where somebody bowed down to him. He says, hey, don't bow down to me. I'm a man just like you. And so I do not worship Pastor Dowell. I give him honor and respect. Pastor Dowell, however you want to look at it, was one of the few people, but probably put more time in. I wouldn't be standing here right now. Let's just live it. Calvin was there, Ray was there, but right in those darkest time, my darkest time, guys, I had thoughts of taking my own life. And I didn't know how bad it was, but I think Pastor Dowell sensed that, because he would use words, you're getting your strength back now, because once I got my strength back, we didn't have to talk as much. But what I was talking to a military vet, and he was telling me that a lot of military vet goes through classes or some type of training that when somebody experienced war, they have these thoughts and to be able to walk them out, because You know, you hear how they talk, and they can't see the future. They're always talking about the past and what they've lost. And so you end up being in a dark place. And so they're trained. So I look back on it. I think Pastor Dowell literally just walked me to life. And I'm indebted. I'm indebted to him for giving me life. He gave me strength when my hands was down. He raised me up. So what do you do? What am I supposed to do? Just say, oh, thanks. Okay, goodbye. That's what Christians do. You know, Christians don't give credit where credit is due. And so I'm a Hebrew. I'm an Israelite. And so I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Pastor Dowell has been a huge blessing. I have been in churches from 2000 all the way to 2017 before I came into this truth. And I'm going to tell you right now, no pastor has ever put that much time in me. And I've not even given Pastor Dowell that much money. I do give, and I want to give. And he's never asked me for a dime, but I've given millions and thousands of dollars to these churches, and they have not even done just that little time that if Pastor Dowell would have just helped me just to get me through that dark period. I wasn't even giving anything at that time. If he would have done that, he would have done more than any of the pastors in the 17 that I've ever came into, even the people that discipled me. So you better believe it. I have a lot of respect for Pastor Dowell. So if people have a problem with that, well, I find that as a personal problem. What's the next question?
Brother Gideon says, hey, bro, how do you plan to guard yourself from future gold diggers and Jezebels?
Oh, great question. Great question. It's called Pastor Dowell. Okay. It's real easy. If they can't clear the Pastor Dowell test, it's real easy. But the way I'm going to keep myself from gold diggers is, here's the deal. A woman cannot love you if she doesn't love the Most High. If she does not have a love for the Most High and have a love for his words, it is impossible for her to love you, because the Bible gives her commandments on how she is to treat her husband and how she is to love her husband. So that's what I'm looking for in a woman. I mean, I could be with somebody if I wanted to, but you know something, after what I've gone through, I am perfectly fine where I'm at. And I will wait until the right ones, because there's going to be more than one. I can assure you that. But I will wait for the right one. But the beauty is I'm part of a ministry like Straightway Truth Ministry. I have an amazing pastor in Pastor Dowell. And when I see there's one, and I let Pastor, hey, Pastor, I'm interested in this. What do you think about that one? And I just listen to Pastor Dowell, and I trust him. I trust that he's been doing this for 20 years. And so that's how I'm going to keep myself from gold diggers.
This kind of ties into the question that was mentioned earlier today when we first made the post. It says, tell us the qualifications for your wife and when you get married in
Okay, so the question is, what's the qualification for my? So one, she has to love the Most High, and she can't just say it. She's gonna have to show it. So you test them. You let them see if they're keeping the commandments. If they're not keeping the commandments of Yah, and then it's all words, just like Christianity. They say they love God, but then they don't show it. And then two, if she's willing to, if she loves him, then from there, I'm going to go through a vetting process. Pastor Dowell and the people here in my community, it just all has to fit. And so that's pretty much a qualification. And then just to see how we gel, and we just go through the protocol, of that. But like I said, I mean, that's really it. The qualification is they love Yah, and that they obviously you got to be attracted to them. So, I mean, I got to have some attraction to it. So there is a qualification there. But that's the biggest one, is the love for Yah.
You can answer this one if you don't.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Isn't it?
Brother Kabir, does your ex-wife and family still live in Green Bay, or do they still attend the same church?
Yes. My ex-wife, the question is, does my ex-wife still live in the same city? Yep. She just live across the highway. Not less than 10 minutes. And they still attend the same wicked ass church that broke up my family. Yes. So I hope I answered your question. So everything is the same. She did remove my 2 children from the school that Ron Jung is the headmaster of at Providence, and she moved him to a Lutheran school. We're not even Lutheran. We weren't even Lutheran. And she moved him over, and guess why? You want to know why? Sports. Sports now is the new god of the Gbaja-Biamila children. Isn't that crazy? So my children are now being taught that we're going to compromise our faith and go to a school that we didn't even believe that even had the word Lutheran, just to play sports, even though they could have still stayed at Providence and still co-op at NEW Lutheran. But to make it convenient She allowed them to now start going to school, and the education down there is less than Providence. Providence was higher than NEW and Lutheran. NEW and Lutheran is a joke, and so now you got these children who are really highly smart already, and they're just going to demolish the school because it's not even academically challenging, not even academically challenging compared to Providence. Just when you compare the education and stuff like that. So anyway, I hope I answered your question, but that's Christianity for you.
What do you say to the people who say that Straightway is a racist ministry?
Well, people that says that Straightway is a racist ministry, well, you got to go there and see it. I know just in this community alone, I'm in the minority here. No, actually, we tied up. My dad moved in. So, but we got 2 white brothers living here, Brother Jordan and Brother Ryan. So I don't know. At Straightway, you have Elder Becker, you have Brother Scott, you got Sister go, guys, it's a joke. Matter of fact, it's the other camps that will actually hate us because we take in people who keep the commandments of Yah and have faith in Jesus Christ. And we don't care what color, what creed, as long as they have faith in Jesus Christ and keep the commandment of Yah, they have the Ruach. Hey, that's who coming. We don't look at color. You know, now we know who the people of the book is. We know who the people are bloodline. But at the end of the day, they're the people that are Gentiles who comes into this truth. They're going to be given better names. OK, better names than the children and daughters. So anyway, that's what I have to say to that.
Anybody who's interested in fellowshipping in Green Bay, how do they go about that? Okay,
if you are interested in fellowshipping at Straightway Truth Ministry, I don't know if this is on a permanent base or something like that. The first thing we try to do is try to send you to Straightway Truth Ministry. We are a part of Straightway Truth, so I try to make sure that whatever they're doing at Straightway Truth, we try to follow the kid. This is not a Kabir thing. I am under Pastor Dowell or the elders and the deacons, so still a brother, but just the head of this community. And so we try to make sure you go through there. Once you go through there, then you'll come through us. And then from there, but if you know me personally or something like that, or whatever, then we will vet you ourselves. But we just want to make sure that you're connected to the ministry and that you're serious about this stuff. So either through them, if you know me personally, just come to me directly personally, and then we'll make it happen.
If there's no more questions, we'll start wrapping it up.
Hey, so if you guys have any more questions, we're going to start wrapping it up. But I appreciate this. This is good. Do you think, did I ever see this one?
It's just more.
Oh, okay. Do you think that pushed, no, because one of the questions, do you think my ex-wife will try to push the sons to sport for another moneymaker? Man, why not? You know, to her, they're just a source, you know. That's when you have a narc for a mom, they just use you. It's pretty much is all about them. So I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't want to make any assertions, but you're going to have to make an educated guess on that one.
Did you catch the video Pastor made about the group of men that planned to kill Muslims in 2016?
I have not caught.
What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I haven't caught that, Ryan. But Pastor was just telling me that, so I was getting ready for this one. So, but I will be checking that out. All right. Hey, guys, so I know Sister's going to be coming up, so I do not want to interfere with that. But, guys, man, this was amazing. If you guys have any suggestions in the future, topic you would like me to do, please let me know. But more videos will be coming, and just stay tuned to the channel. So, guys, please let me know. This was kind of cool. And then also promote. Also, I want you guys to check out Sister to Sister. That's going to be coming up at 6 o'clock right now. Tonight at 7 or 6. 6 o'clock. They're coming at 6 o'clock Central Time. So please check out Sister to Sister. One thing I love about Sister to Sister show is that if I was a husband, being a husband, because a lot of these Christian ministries, when these women be doing their women Bible studies and things like, you don't know what these women are being taught in these Christian churches. But at Straightway, these women are being discipled. And the husband can chime in and he can listen to see what his wife is learning. So men, try to encourage your wife to listen to Sister, because they're really our tightest women, teaching the women how to love their husband, how to be obedient, how to love their children, how to keep so Sisters are a great show. Sister Ashley, Sister Jennifer is doing a great job. So just want to encourage you guys. And then also on Friday, Blog Talk Radio with Pastor Dowell at 7 o'clock, right? No, 6 o'clock. Is it 7 o'clock Central Time? That's another good one. You know, that's a good way. So many people say you want to be here. That's a way to stay connected and to make yourself known. So if you want to make yourself known to the ministry, that's the place to do it. Even Truly Yours had to do it that way. I had to make myself known by calling Blog Talk Radio. I remember calling the straightway the dining hall. I guess I did at the time. I didn't know. Now I know what I mean by dining hall, but I was calling the dining hall, and I called the dining hall 5 times. I kept calling every day, trying to talk to an elder. I just kept calling. Then it got to a point where I said, okay, I'm not getting any of the elders here. I'm going to talk to the sisters. But I noticed that the sisters wouldn't like try to teach me because I was a man. So the way I got them to talk to me by asking them questions, I said, well, tell me about this. And that's how I was able to convince the sisters to talk to me and kind of teach me about the ministry or whatever without teaching me and stuff like that. But eventually they just told me just to call the Blog Talk Radio, make yourself known. And that's when I got to finally talk to Pastor Dowell, and I haven't left ever since. So, and then what's the next one? And then, all right, please like, comment, subscribe, and let the ad, remember, please let the ads run. It does help the ministry make some money. All righty. Shalom, shalom.